Hello everyone. Blessed Sunday. Pray everyone's feeling well. Hey, can you look like that? That's gonna be the noise. Hope it was feeling good though.
We are all running. There we are. Alright then, I think we're ready to start. Hello, welcome to today's daily Bible reading. As always, I'm Khalil. This is
Xavier. What up, y'all?
And today we're going to be continuing our reading of Numbers. We'll be picking up today with Numbers 26. And last time we got to see some of the sort of aftermath of Israel. Israel, out of fear and lack of faith in the Lord, didn't want to go up and fight the people of the land, so because of which they were cursed to roam the wilderness for the next 40 years instead of going up to the promised land. So essentially, so that all of the generation that complained to the Lord and didn't want to go up to the land would die out. And we got to see that sort of play out. We got to see Miriam die, Aaron died, and even Moses himself, because of what may have been out of his anger, but in general was his own disobedience to the Lord, where he smote a rock the Lord told him to speak to. He was now cursed as well to not enter into the promised land himself. But we will get to see that he will be able to see the promised land, but he won't be able to actually go into it. But all that being said, since today is March 1st, we'll be starting with our daily Proverbs 1. Yeah.
I'll pick it up this time.
You will? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. So, this is the Proverbs of Solomon. And this is our second time walking through the Proverbs, and we're going to continue to read it over and over again. But this is wild. Like he says, to know wisdom and instructions, to perceive the words of understanding. Like this is what the Proverbs is delivering to us. Verse 3. To receive the instructions of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. To give subtlety to the simple, and to the young man knowledge and discretion. So that's what he's giving us. It says like to the simple, like simple meaning you could say dumb, but it's not dumb according to this world. It's lack of knowledge according to God. That's what he's trying to give to you. So to give subtlety to the simple and to the young man knowledge and discretion or wisdom. Verse 5. A wise man will hear and increase in learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand the proverb and the interpretations, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So he just gave us what the Proverbs was aiming to do, to give you wisdom, to give you knowledge, give you understanding, discretion, things of that nature. And the first thing he tells you is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Like this is how you're going to obtain the knowledge. First you need to fear the Lord. But fools despise wisdom and instructions. Verse 8, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path. So he's saying if sinners entice thee, or people in this world enticing you to do evil or to go against what thus says the Lord, consent thou not. Like don't walk in that path with them. It says, my son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path. Like get away with them. Get away from them, Verse 16. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood, they lurk privately for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Verse 20. Wisdom cried without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. So Solomon is doing, he's showing you what wisdom is doing. Wisdom is out here. It's really what he's trying to say. Like, we have this whole Bible right here in front of us. Like, we can read it. We can seek God. Like, what does it say? Seek God and live. Seek the Lord and he shall be found. Like, wisdom is here. We'll read in Deuteronomy where it says, like, what does it say? Like, the words of God are nearby. It's not hard to be found. Point being, man, we have the Word of God. It's on our phones now. Like, we could just look up, we can download the Bible app, and we have the words of God or the wisdom of God. So wisdom is out here. And in verse 22, he asks a question, like, how long, these simple ones, where you love simplicity? Like, how long will you love not knowing about God and not serving God? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Like, he's asking a question, how long are you going to hate not having knowledge of God? Right? Verse 23, turn you at my reproofs. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called. So right there he's saying, like, turn you at my reproofs, and what? I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. But the point is, it's not going to happen magically. The first thing he tells you to do is turn you at my reproof. Like, listen to me, and this is what's going to happen. I will pour out my words unto you. I will pour out my spirit unto you. You will begin to increase in knowledge, increase in understanding and wisdom. But the first thing you have to do is turn, or the first thing you have to do is seek, right? And then turn, change your ways, and then he will begin to grant you with more knowledge, more understanding, and things of that nature. But verse 24, because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproofs. So this is what he's like, but I tried, basically. I've called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and you didn't regard it, but you have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. Like, you just completely didn't listen to anything that I was trying to give you or trying to tell you. So verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So this, you really just like do it now, because that time's going to come where you're going to want the Lord to help to guide you, but he's not going to be there. That wisdom's not going to be there, because you had the chance this whole time, and you, like you said, you hated knowledge. You love simplicity, right? So we don't want to be these people. But verse, what was that, 29? Mm-hmm. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproofs. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet of fear of evil. The end of that chapter. You have anything? Because I kind of...
No. I think Proverbs 1 is a good example of something that we talked a bit about with the Proverbs before, like separating yourself, stuff of that nature, and even just like wisdom, where wisdom is something you have to go work to get. It is something like the Lord wants us to have wisdom, and the Lord has given us all the keys needed. or the textbooks, however you want to put it. He's given us the things that we need in order to get wisdom, in order to get understanding, knowledge, and so forth. Being the Bible, it's just that we have to go and actually get it. So,
yeah, I like that. That's a great comparison because it's like anything you want to do in life. Like, you go to school, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, like you want to be something like, all they want to give you is textbooks, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you got to go study it, you got to go read it to earn that certificate or that degree. It's the same with wisdom. Like, we have the book, we have the textbook, go read it, go study it. Just like how you would do for a class, for something that you want. That's all he's asking. Like when a new PlayStation 6 come out, and you making sure you getting that overtime so that you can afford this new game. It's that he just want that same diligence, you know? Because like we read in Proverbs before multiple times, hey, the what does it say? Wisdom is worth more than rubies and gold. Like, so if we put in work for all these vanity things, hey, put that same work in even more for something that's going to last you past this life, right? So
yeah.
But that's all I got on this. But I really do like the beginning portion where he's just like, hey, like this is what this is for, to know wisdom and instructions. Because you got to think, this is coming from Solomon, the wisest man that ever lived. So like, he's giving us game. Like, if we don't listen to anybody, we should listen to the wisest person, the one who the Lord filled up with wisdom, right? It's not even like when people use that term, he's the wisest man in the world. It's not like it was his own wisdom. This is God's wisdom that he gave to Solomon. So it'd be wise of us to listen. But the first thing he said, like before anything, and you gotta fear the Lord. That's the beginning of knowledge. Like, if you don't fear the Lord, you're not going to end up anywhere. It starts with that, right?
Yeah.
But, that's
Fear of the Lord is beginning of wisdom.
But that's all I got, bro.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I think we can go ahead to Numbers 26. Alright. Numbers 26 and verse 1. It came to pass after the plague, the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying. So this comes right off of the cusp of chapter 25. They received a plague because they had gone a whoring after Baal Peor. They had intermingled themselves with some Midianites and Moabite women who drew them away to their false gods, so they committed idolatry, Israel being Israel. So right after the Lord had punished them with the plague and they were able to stop the plague, the Lord's called for Moses and Eleazar, verse 2. Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, from 20 years old and upward, throughout their father's house, and all they're able to go to war in Israel. This is something we saw before in Numbers 2 and Numbers 1, because at this point, I mentioned that 40 years before, it's been a substantial amount of time. Like I said, at this point, Miriam has died, Aaron has died. That's why Eleazar is the priest now, because Eleazar has taken up like the high priesthoodship from Aaron now that Aaron's dead. So that's why it's Moses and Eleazar instead of Moses and Aaron. But still to the point. So now, it's been so long, a lot of these people have died out, and the Lord done that in Numbers 2 in order for them to go into the land. At this point, he's preparing them once again to go into said land. So now it's like, okay, those people are all dead, so we need to get a recount of, well, what people do we have here that can go out to war? Verse 3. And Moses and Eleazar the priest spake with them in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt. Like he's referring to what happened in like Numbers 1, 2, 3. Verse 5. Reuben, the eldest son of Israel, The children of Reuben, Hanok, of whom cometh the family of the Hanokites, of Palu, the family of the Paluites, of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites. And they that were numbered of them were 43,730. This is even something just to know going forward. The same way as we look in Numbers, I believe 4, 5, and I think 3 as well, you'll see Levi split up into the Kohathites and the Gershonites and the Merarites based upon the sons he had. All of the tribes of Israel work that way, so sometimes we'll see in the future where someone's maybe called a Carmite. But they're an Israelite, but they're from the specific family, which is, in this example, a Carmite is from the tribe of Reuben. So that's even something we'll see, especially once we start getting into the Kings and the Chronicles. We'll see that a lot more. But so this is the number of the Reubenites. 8, and the sons of Palu, Eliab, and the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This is that Dathan and Abiram, which were famous in the congregation, who strove against Moses and against Aaron and the company of Korah, when they strove against Korah. This was referring to number 16. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah when that company died. What time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Notwithstanding, the children of Korah died not. The sons of Simeon after their families. Of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites. Of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites. Of Jachin, the family of the Jachinites. Of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites. Of Shaul, the family of the Shaulites. These are the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. The children of Gad, after their families, of Zephon, the family of the Zephonites. Of Haggai, the family of the Haggites. Of Shuni, the family of the Shunites. Of Ozni, the family of the Oznites. Of Eri, the family of the Erites. Of Arad, the family of the Aradites. Of Areli, the family of the Arelites. These are the families of the children of Gad, according to those that were numbered of them, 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan. And and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And this goes back all the way in Genesis. Died just natural causes, and because he made the Lord upset, and Onan because he did not want to fulfill his brotherly duty. That goes back to something we read in Genesis. That's 20. And the sons of Judah after their families were of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites, of Pharez, the family of the Pharzites, of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites, and of the sons of Pharez were of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the family of the Hamulites. These are the families of Judah, according to those that were numbered of them, 16,500. Of the sons of Issachar after their families, of Tola, the family of the Tolites, of Puah, the family of the Punites, of Jashub, the family of the Jashubites, of Shimron, the family of the Shimronites. These are the families of Issachar according to those that were numbered of them, 304,300. Of the sons of Zebulun after their families, of Sered, the family of the Sardites, of Elon, the family of the Elonites, of Jaleel, the family of the Jaleelites. These are the families of the Zebulites according to those that were numbered of them, 304,500. The sons of Joseph after their families were Manasseh and Ephraim. Of the sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machirites, and Machir begat Gilead, and of Gilead come the family of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead of Jezer, the family of the Jezreelites. Of Helek, the family of the Helekites. Of Azriel, the family of the Azrielites. Of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites. Of Shemida, the family of the Shemidites. And of Hefer, the family of the Heferites. And Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, had no sons but daughters. And the name of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mala, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of Manasseh, and those that were numbered of them, 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim after their families, of Shuthelah, the family of the Shuthelites, of Becher, the family of the Bachrites, of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites, and these are the sons of Shuthelah, of Aaron, the family of the Aaronites. These are the families of the sons of Ephraim according to those that were numbered of them, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph after their families. The sons of Benjamin after their families, of Bela, the family of the Belites, of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites, of Ahiram, the family of the Ahiramites, Of Shufam, the family of the Shufamites. Of Hufam, the family of the Hufamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the family of the Ardites. And of Naaman, the family of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin after their families. And they that were numbered of them were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan after their families. Of Shuham, the family of the Shuhamites. These are the families of Dan after their families. All the families of the Shuhamites, according to those that were numbered of them, were 64,400. Of the children of Asher after their families. Of Jimnah, the family of the Jimnites. Of Jesui, the family of the Jesuites. Of Beriah, the family of the Berites. Of the sons of Beriah. Of Heber, the family of the Heberites. Of Machiel, the family of the Machielites. The name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the families of the sons of Asher, according to those that were numbered of them, who were 53,400. Of the sons of Naphtali after their families, of Jaziel, the family of the Jazielites. Of Guni, the family of the Gunites. Of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites. Of Shalem, the family of the Shalemites. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families. And they that were numbered of them were 45,400. These were numbered of the children of Israel, 600,000 and 1,730. So this even was something that we saw back in Numbers 2 and 3. The Levites were not numbered amongst this because the Levites were reserved for the duty of like the tabernacle and assisting the priests. So they didn't go out to war. So that's why they're not numbered here. And that's even why the tribe of Joseph it was split between the two half tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, but that's also why they're counted twice. So they have 12 divisions, even though Levi, one of the 12 tribes, is not fighting in the war. 52. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Unto these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. To many thou shalt give the more inheritance, and to few thou shalt give the less inheritance. To every one shall his inheritance be given according to those that were numbered of them. Notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lot. According to the names of the tribes of their fathers, they shall inherit. According to the lot shall the possession thereof be divided between many and few. So, it's just every tribe essentially is going to have their own lot of land. Like, war is given to, like we see like the numbers here, that if there are more people, they'll get more land. But where that land is will be decided by just like your tribe. Like all of Levi, like will ends up being around or in sanctioned cities. But like tribe of Gad, they have a specific land, like area of land. Same with Judah, Naphtali, all of them. 56. According to the lot shall the possession thereof be divided between many and few. And these are they that were numbered of the Levites after their families. Of Gershon, the family of the Gershonites. Of Kohath, the family of the Kohathites. Of Merari, the family of the Merarites. This goes back to Leviticus 3 and 4. These are the families of the Levites. The families of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Mahalites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites. And Kohath begat Amram. And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bare to Levi in Egypt. And she bare unto Amram, Aaron, and Moses, and Miriam their sister. So even here we get the genealogy of like, Moses, Miriam, and Aaron. How they came from, the tribe of Levi. 60. And unto Aaron was born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died when they offered strange fire before the Lord. And those that were numbered of them were 23,000, all males from a month old and upward. And they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given them among the children of Israel. These are they that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. But among these there was not a man of them whom Moses and Aaron the priest numbered when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai, because that's been those like 40 years' time, so everyone's died out. 65. For the Lord had said of them, they shall surely die in the wilderness, and there was not left a man of them, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun, because there were two people, two of the spies that did get scared. So they were left alive. Yeah. Numbers 26.
have anything to add. I feel like it kind of made sense of it.
Yeah.
Of course, the land, the bigger size the people are, the bigger size land they get.
Yeah. Then you got it's a self-explanatory. Just them getting ready to go fight. Which it sucks that has to be a repeat attempt, but you know.
Chapter 27, you read?
Yeah.
Before we read chapter 27, I just really want to, verse 33 of this chapter, is Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, had no sons but daughters, and the names of his daughters were Zelophehad, of Zelophehad were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Noah. Point being, chapter 27 is going to take place with this family. Right. So I just want you to remember he had no sons, he only had daughters. But chapter 27 and verse 1, it says, Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And these are the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes and all the congregation, by the doors of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he had no son? Give us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their cause before the Lord. So typically how it would work is the son, like if a man had inheritance, the son would get the portion, right? Or part of it would not. But typically the women wouldn't get the inheritance because they're getting married off and they're going to join part in their husband's inheritance. Right. You get me? So typically but in this case, the man didn't have a son. So they're like, why does his name what does it say, verse 4? Why should the name of our fathers be done away from among his family, because he had no son? Give us, therefore, a possession among the brethren of our fathers. And so Moses brought their cause before the Lord. Verse 6, this is going to be the Lord. He's going to break it down. Verse 6, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then he shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. So if the man died and he doesn't have a son, then he would give it to the daughters. And if he have no daughter, then he shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Lord commanded Moses. So point being, if a man have his inheritance goes to his son. If he dies without having a son, he gives it to his daughter. If he dies without having a son or a daughter, then he would give it to his brethren. If not them, the father's brethren. And then just the nearest kids. Point being, it's going somewhere. Right? But so they was right. They was like, why don't we get anything? He doesn't have any sons. What does it just go away? And God was like, no, y'all are right. You know what I'm saying? So then he gave us the law and ordinance on how the inheritance is going to work. But verse 12, And the Lord said unto Moses, Get thee up in the mount of Abarim, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou also shalt be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother was gathered. For ye rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin, in the strife of the congregation, to sanctify me at the water before their eyes. That is the water of Meribah and Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. So right here, guys, he's speaking to Moses. He's like, because if you remember, that's what you was talking about on the recap of what we read last time. But God commanded Moses. The people were murmuring, like, we don't have nothing to drink. You brought us out of Egypt to die. The same old, same old. And Moses brought it to the Lord, and God told him, hey, look, go speak to this rock, and it's going to give water. Point being, it doesn't say why. You could say, some people say because he was angry, he got mad at the people for murmuring, or we don't know why, but he did speak to it. He smoked the rock twice, boom, boom. and the water started. So right here when he says, "For you rebelled against my commandment and the desert was in," that's what he's talking about, right? But then he said, "You will be gathered unto your people like Aaron thy brother was gathered." Basically saying you're about to die here. Verse, what was that? 15. And Moses spake unto the Lord, saying, "Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord be not as sheep which have no shepherd." So Moses to me is he's like the most selfless player you can have on your team, which is why, you know what I'm saying, in my mind he got the position in the first place. Like we see, he was like he offered his spot out of the book of life for the people. You know what I mean? But point being, he was like, all right. So he understands that, hey, he's gonna die right here. He's not going into the promised land. So he's like, hey Lord, like it says, "Let the Lord, the God of spirits, set a man over the congregation." So like basically, his, what would you call it? Predecessor. Person that comes after him?
Oh, no.
That's the one first,
that's
right?
before.
Yeah. Well, he's getting someone to lead the people.
His successor.
His what?
Successor.
Successor. Yeah. So he's finding his successor. Verse 18. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Take thee Joshua the son of Nun, a man in whom the Spirit is, and lay thine hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim before the Lord. At his word shall they go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation." And Moses did as the Lord commanded him, and he took Joshua, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation. And he laid his hands upon him, and gave him charge, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses. Boom. So we see that successor was Joshua. When I brought up how Moses was the most selfless, like he was very humble. Point being, like he didn't get mad. He knew he wasn't going to go in the Holy Land. He was like, hey, like it says in verse 17, "Don't let them be as sheep which have no shepherd." Like he's already knowing Israel. They need somebody to guide them. You know what I mean?
It makes perfect sense that Joshua, of all people, was the person chosen for. Granted, he's literally the oldest. I mean, like him and Caleb. Like, we very clearly saw how he's behaved. Like, we've seen Joshua a lot up to this point. He went the very first time Moses went up into the Mount. Joshua, like, had followed him up to a certain point. Like, we see like how he behaved and trying to like stop the people during the time where they were afraid to go up to the land. He was one of the people who spy mission. Like Joshua has been what they call bred for success up to this point, where like he's been like up to this point already just been like instructed in the ways of righteousness and has been following him. So it makes perfect sense that he's the he has to pick him.
That's the most important part, is that he was following. Because like he could have been like everybody. He could have died in the wilderness. Like there's a reason he made it out.
Yeah.
It's like when we read about Noah and the whole world was wicked, but there's a reason Noah made it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is perfect in his generation. And even like and Joshua very specifically, he didn't like Joshua and Caleb, they didn't lack that faith. And that time they very much tried to encourage the people to go into the land. But they didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chapter 27, I don't got too much else to say besides that.
Yeah.
Numbers 28, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, My offering and my bread for my sacrifices made by fire. For a sweet savor unto me shall ye observe to offer unto me in their due season. And thou shalt say unto them, This is the offering made by fire, which ye shall offer unto the Lord. 2 lambs of the first year, without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering. So now, this whole chapter is him going over a lot of the sacrifices we got to see at the beginning of not only Numbers, but like Leviticus. And that's also because, again, everyone who he told this to initially is dead. So that's even what the book of Deuteronomy is. The book of Deuteronomy, if you notice, is not like a continuation of things that happened past this point. No, it's a retelling of Exodus through Numbers, because everyone from the time of Exodus and Leviticus and the beginning of Numbers is dead. So he has to retell all of these new people this, oh, well, you weren't alive, but this happened, and these laws were given, and this is the law, and this is the precedent, and so on and so forth. So now he's giving them, the sacrifices again. Verse 4. The one lamb shalt thou offer in the morning, and the other lamb thou shalt offer at evening. And the 10th part of an ephah of flour for a meat offering, mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil. It is a continual burnt offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And the drink offering thereof shall be the 4th part of an hin for the one lamb. In the holy place shalt thou cause the strong wine to be poured unto the Lord for a drink offering. And the other lamb shalt thou offer at even, as the meat offering of the morning, and as the drink offering thereof. Thou shalt offer it, a sacrifice made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. So those 2 sacrifices you have to make daily. And just for clarification, in the Bible when it says meat, or meat offering, it's referring to bread, which specifically here is unleavened bread, because the Lord didn't have leavened bread in his tabernacle or temple. Verse 9. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2 10th deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and the drink offering thereof. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. So on the Sabbath they also would have to offer this as well. In the beginning of your months, you shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot. So, beginning of your months, this is sometimes you'll see the Bible refer to new moons. And the new moons was how they dictated what would be the beginning of a month. So, that's what he means to say, the beginnings of your month, he's referring to new moons. Right, verse 12. 3 10th deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil for 1 bullock, and 2 10th deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil for 1 ram, and the several 10th deal of flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering unto 1 lamb, for a burnt offering of a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And their drink offering shall be half an hin of wine unto a bullock, and the 3rd part of an hin unto a ram, and the 4th part of an hin unto a lamb. This is the burnt offering of every month throughout the months of the year. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering unto the Lord shall be offered, beside the continual burnt offering, and his drink offering. And in the 14th day of the first month is the Passover. And in the 15th day of this month is the feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. So going Leviticus 23, Exodus 12 and 13, we have the feast of Passover and the feast of unleavened bread, which had specific sacrifices that you need to do here too. 18. And the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no manner of servile work therein. But ye shall offer a sacrifice made by fire for a burnt offering unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil. 3 10th deals shall ye offer for a bullock, and 2 10th deals for a ram. A several 10th deal shalt thou offer for every lamb, throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 goat for a sin offering to make an atonement for you. You shall offer these beside the burnt offering in the morning, which is for a continual burnt offering. After this manner ye shall offer daily throughout the 7 days the meat of the sacrifice made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. It shall be offered beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. So they had to do this like all the 7 days. 25. On the 7th day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. Also on the 1st day of the first fruits, when you bring a new meat offering unto the Lord, after your weeks be out, ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. Here, first fruits is referring to like the feast of first fruits, like again Leviticus 23, which is also sometimes called Pentecost, like you'll see in Acts. But here they also have that. We need to have a holy convocation, do no servile work. Again, like I said, it's repeating things we read in Leviticus, some stuff we saw in Numbers, because again, it's new people. 27. But ye shall offer the burnt offering for a sweet savor unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year. And their meat offering of flour mingled with oil, 3 tenth deals unto 1 bullock, 2 tenth deals unto 1 ram, a several tenth deal unto 1 lamb, throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 kid of the goats to make an atonement for you. Ye shall offer them beside a continual burnt offering and his meat offering. They shall be unto you without blemish, and their drink offerings.
Here you go.
Thank you. Verse 28.
I mean, with this, like you kind of broke it down, these are a new group of people. He's giving the same set of rules. And I just want to bring this up because we're going to read it when we get into Deuteronomy. With Deuteronomy, I believe it's 5 in chapter 6, where it talks about teach your children. You know what I mean? And he's told us before, like, everything that happened with us being in Egypt and God saving Israel out of Egypt and crossing of the Red Sea, like, this stuff was supposed to be passed down. Like, really, Moses wasn't even supposed to do this again. It was obviously from their disobedience that they ended up getting killed and things of that nature. But for us, like, we're not necessarily going to have this person, like, that's saying the rules for every generation. No, it's the parents' job to pass this information down to their children, to their children's children. That's why when we read stuff in, like, Proverbs, where it says a man that leaveth his inheritance to his kids.
That was as wise as he.
Yeah, something like that. Point being, like, and that inheritance really, it's deeper than just money. Like, it's this word. You pass it to your kids, and they pass it to their kids, and to the, like, you just saved a generation worth of lives because you passed down the word of God. So I really just wanted to point out that point. But yeah, this chapter, you just read saying all the offerings, things of that nature.
I don't really have much to say about 28. But I think 29 picks up right where we left off.
Yeah, this is literally Leviticus 23. You feel me?
Yeah.
All right. That's what this is. But 29, you ready?
Yep.
Alright, chapter 29 and verse 1. And in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. It is a day of blowing the trumpets unto you. And ye shall offer a burnt offering for a sweet savor unto the Lord. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil. 3 tenth deals for a bullock, and 2 tenth deals for a ram. And 1 tenth deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering to make an atonement for you. Besides the burnt offering of the month, and his meat offering, and the daily burnt offerings, and his meat offerings, and their drink offerings according unto their manner. For a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. So, like he said in verse 1, the 7th month on the 1st day of the month, this is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, like we said that you read in Leviticus 23, and these are the sacrifices you would do for that. Verse 7, and ye shall have on the 10th day of the 7th month in holy convocation. Ye shall afflict your souls. You shall not do any work therein. So this is the 7th day of the 10th No, the 10th day of the 7th month. This is what we talked about in the Day of Atonement, which was Leviticus 16, where we went over, I think it's 16, where we went over the Day of Atonement. But just to reiterate, this afflicting of your soul is fasting, like abstaining from meat and drinking. We can read that in places like Isaiah 58, and Paul in Acts even referred to the fast. He was talking about the Day of Atonement, but point being, that's what it is. So on this 7th day, you are to afflict your souls and do no work. Verse 8, but ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord for a sweet savor, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3 tenth deals to a bullock, and 2 tenth deals to 1 ram. A several tenth deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the sin offering of atonement, and the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering of it, and their drink offerings. And on the 15th day of the 7th month ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work, and ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. So this 15th day, this is the Feast of Tabernacle. Verse 13, ye shall offer a burnt offering. It's a 7-day feast. A 7-8-day feast. And not to do no servile work on it, keep a holy convocation, consistent thing. And ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. 13 young bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year. They shall be without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil. 3 tenth deals unto every bullock of the 13 bullocks. 2 tenth deals to each ram of the 2 rams. And several tenth deals to each lamb of the 14 lambs. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 2nd day ye shall offer 12 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without spot. And their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering and the meat offering thereof, and their drink offering. And on the 3rd day 11 bullocks, 2 rams, 14 days of the first year without blemish, and their meat offerings and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering and his drink offering. And on the 4th day, 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. Their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 5th day 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without spot. And their meat offerings and their drink offerings for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 6th day 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offerings and their drink offerings of the bullocks, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 7th day on the 7th day, 7 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number, after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 8th day ye shall have a solemn assembly. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. 1 bullock, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without blemish. Their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to their numbers after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. These things ye shall do unto the Lord in your set feast, besides your vows and your free will offerings, for your burnt offerings, and for your meat offerings, and for your drink offerings, and for your peace offerings. And Moses told the children of Israel according to all the Lord commanded Moses. So these are all the sacrifices you have to make for these set feast days and whatnot.
trumpets, atonement, and tabernacle.
One thing I will point out about this tabernacles, because I said it as I was reading, I was like 7 days, but then I said 8 days, right? And as you can see, when we continue reading with verse 35, it says on the 8th day. So it goes past, like when we read in the last chapter about the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we only see 7 days, right? But over here with the tabernacle, it goes deeper, and there's actually meaning behind it, which we'll get to eventually. But it goes past 7 to an 8th day, and on that 8th day you'd have a solemn assembly, same old, and then you would offer your offerings on the 8 days and things of that nature. But it's an 8-day period, not just 7. You know? I just want to point that out. But,
yeah. Because that seems something we see in like Leviticus 23, where I'll mention 7 days, but let's say like on the 8th day.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the 8th day is like you said, the same way the Feast of Unleavened Bread has 7 days. The Tabernacle also has 7 days, but the 8th day is something special, it represents something special.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't have much to say about chapter 29. Cool. In that case, Numbers chapter 30. Numbers 30 in verse 1. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word, he shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. So this is something that's like repeated that we saw again in Numbers, we also saw in Leviticus. Vows unto the Lord, you have to keep your word is your bond, as the book says, right? Or also the book will say the Lord will judge according to every idle word. Right? Let your yea be your yea, and your nay be your nay. Right? Don't swear anything on heaven or on earth or the hairs on your head, because they're all numbered or not yours to swear upon. Right? Like heaven is not yours, neither the earth, neither are you like yourself, like yours. Right? We're all the Lord's. All to the point that when we say something like, because vow, you don't have to be like, oh, this is a vow for something to be a vow. All it is saying you will do something, or that this will be done, or that this is the case, right? That's all a vow is. It's you just, like he said, he shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. It's just whatever you say, right? I will do this. This is what will happen. So on and so forth, right? You'll need to, there's no formal language needed, right? And you are expected to uphold to your word. You're expected to make true to what you swear, which is why in the New Testament will say, in everything, like we say, if the Lord be willing, if God permit, to the point that we're not saying that this will be the case. But if the Lord wills it, it will be, which is like not a way of getting around it, but that's the way to avoid you backing yourself to a corner in terms of, I said this and I didn't do it. Right? Because the Lord takes it, like he says it. If a man vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul to vow, he shall not break his word. Like the Lord is holding us to that. Verse 3. If a woman also vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth. So it's like, so if a woman were to do the same thing, and now specifically giving the example, if she were like a youngin, like she is in her father's house, right? So she isn't married, like she still is at home with her father. Verse 4. And her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she had bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. So, if she makes this vow, and that's why it's even serious, because it's not just like, oh, you're a grown adult man or grown adult woman, I'm gonna hold you to the vow. But if you're a kid, like, oh, it's nothing. It's like, no, if you're a kid, you absolutely be held to it too. Here with the daughter, where if her father hears the bond for which she had bound her soul, the father shall hold his peace at her, meaning that like he doesn't say anything against the vow that she's made. She's now bound by her word. But like on the reverse end, verse 5, but if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth it, so whenever he hears about the vow, he's like, oh no, that's bad, like we're not doing that. Not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed it. So, but if in the day he hears the vow, he's like, oh, that's not good, we're not doing that, we're not, like, no, that is not the case. Then, like, the vow is basically disintegrate. Like, if they don't stand. Yeah. Not any of her vows shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her. So, like, they disallowed the vow. But that's, again, only if, like, she's in her father's house, and the father, when he hears it. So he can't come back, he hears it, he agrees with it, and then later decide. No, it's whenever he hears it. If he decides in that moment that, no, this is not what we're doing, then it's disallowed, and the Lord won't hold it against them. Verse 6. And if she had at all an husband when she vowed, or uttered aught of her lips, or when she bound her soul. So now it's even the same way for a woman if she has a husband. 7, her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it. Then her vow shall stand, her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. So it works the same way if she had a husband. If the day where he hears the vow she's made, he doesn't do anything to stop it, doesn't say anything against it, the vow stands. And then he can't come back later and try to fight against it. 8. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, again, it has to be when he heard it. Then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, for which she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. But every vow of a widow, and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. But like if you're not in your father's house anymore, like whether you're widowed or divorced, you don't have a husband, whatever you say goes. Whatever you said, that stands. Verse 10. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. So it's like, man, so even if long into the future, like, you said this vow, like, while you were with your husband, and he died, or you guys divorced, or whatever happens, but he didn't say anything against it then, you still can't go. And that's all to the point of how serious, like, your word really is. The Lord holds us all. The Lord holds us all incredibly accountable for our words. 12. But if her husband hath utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceedeth out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her husband hath made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establish all her vows, or all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmeth them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. But so basically, if he keeps quiet about it, doesn't stop it, like he's allowed it, and allowed it in the day that he heard it. 15. But if he shall anyways make them void after that he hath heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. But so if he were even to try and break it after he's heard it, he wants to go back on his decision previously, he will bear the iniquity of her breaking her word. Because you went along with it then, but now you're trying to go back on it. So like that iniquity, like there is sin in that. Well, it's even saying the sin will be on him. Because you went along with it, but now you're trying to, for whatever reason, whatever it is, like you're trying to switch up. 16. These are the statutes which the Lord commanded Moses between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. Thank you. Chapter 30.
This chapter's good. It reminds me of Ecclesiastes 5, which I'm actually going to go and read because I think it's good in terms of this chapter. But long story short, hey, you vow a vow, like, pay it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I just want to read that real quick, unless you got anything to say on top of that.
No.
Ecclesiastes 5, and I'm going to start at verse 4, I'm going to read through 6. But it says, when thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow, than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin, neither shalt thou say before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the works of thine hand? So, but long story short, I just wanted to bring it up because, you know, we talk about vows and things of that nature, but it's actually serious. You can bring sin upon yourself of something that did not have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make a vow saying, I'm not going to cuss anymore. Like, and then you cuss. It's like, now you just sinned when you didn't even have to sin. Like, it didn't have to be a sin to you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you brought that upon. So I just really wanted to bring that up just to make sure we're being wise and understanding that. Like, even when he was talking about how the husband will bear the iniquities if he calls the wife. Point is, but there's an iniquity to be bared.
Yeah,
you know
there's iniquity, there's sin from doing that.
Exactly. So.
And the thing is, it can be so easy for us to, like, really do this, especially, like, unknowing. Like, probably one of the biggest things, and, like, everyone jokes about it constantly, is, like, New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Where, and that's what I mean, where, like, how unserious it really could be, but the Lord, like, takes our word seriously. Where, like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym every other day this year. That's your vow. But that's what I mean, where it's like, it's not thinking like, I vow that. No, you said, I'm going to do this. And then you didn't do it. That's all it is. That's literally all it is, which is why, like, the Bible itself, like in the New Testament especially, goes for like so many times to talk about the tongue. Not only that, but also say, hey, but say, like, Lord willing, we will, and Lord willing, we won't. For that very reason. Hopefully, and that's what I'll take, just one word. Hopefully, this year, I will right. Go to the gym.
Lord willing.
Lord willing. Maybe I'll try. Just something of the sort that to like go to the gym every other day this year, right? But like and that's the thing is like where the book talks about discretion of the tongue, right? Where you gotta be very careful and be very wise in the words in which you speak.
Man, it reminds me of the Proverbs that we was reading, where he was like, bro, a man of many words is like foolish or something. We're like, well, point being, man, if you listen, it is dang near impossible to make it to the kingdom of God if this is what you do. You know what I'm saying? If you just talk, because you're going to talk yourself into some dumb stuff. Yeah. That's why it's important. It says a wise man is a man of few words. Like, if wisdom will make you be quiet. Discretion of the tongue, which is wisdom, will make you be quiet. Like, think about what you say. But I really want to also like bring it to some other like situations, like marriage, right? It does not take me getting on a knee, hitting you with the ring, I do's to be married. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I ask you to be my wife and you say yes, we just make that vow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. You can't make that statement and then take it back and be like, nah, but that wasn't serious, you know what I'm saying? Or point, you know what I'm saying? Like, so just to understand, like you've already said it, but it's like, it's not like a vow isn't this big to do, like where you gotta get on your knees and bow your head and just, it doesn't have to be like that. It's just a statement. Like, just a statement. Also, another thing is like baptism. Baptism is a vow to God. Like, defer not to pay. I really just wanted to bring that up as well. You're telling God you're going to serve Him. So, do it. Anyway, that's all I got on this chapter.
Yeah, I'll have much else on chapter 30 either.
All right, chapter 31. Now, real quick, would you say? Chapter 31 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterwards shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian, of every tribe 1,000. So now they're about to go to war with Midian, right? So every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall you send to war. So all the 12 tribes, we got 1,000 from every tribe. That's 12,000 people that they're going to send out to this war. So, verse 5. So there were delivered out of the 1,000 of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest to the war, with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites, as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males. And they slew the king of Midian, besides the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also, the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. This Balaam being the one we read about in chapter, what was it, 27, 28, I believe, with Balaam and Balak, but we got him too. Verse 9. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captive, and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods. And they burnt all the cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all of the spoil, and all the prey, both of men and of beasts. And they brought the captives, and the prey, and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest, and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, but the captains over the thousands, and captains over the 100 which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel, through the counsel of Balaam, to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the children of Israel. So point being, this is kind of following after what, chapter 20, what is it, 7?
Yeah,
20.
Chapter,
No, it's 25. Yeah, 25. And what happened was, the children of Israel started sleeping with the children of Midian, and they started serving after, what does it say?
Baal
Peor, which is a false god. And we kind of talked about that. But point being, like, so this is kind of what we're going, like, this is the avenging that he's talking about. Like, avenge us, avenge them. So now they went to war with Midian, and they done killed all the men, killed all the kings. Like, they're getting that vengeance. But they saved the women. In verse 15, Moses is like, Have you saved all the women alive? Behold, these called the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. So he's like, these women is kind of what caused us to sin and serve this false god. Verse 17. Now therefore kill every man among the little ones, every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known man by lying with them. So he's like, so we're going to kill, because we had originally Israel saved all of the women, period. But he's like, we're going to kill all the men, and we're going to kill all the non-virgin women, basically. If you was a virgin, you got to live. You wasn't a part of all that, but everybody else got to go. Verse 18. But all the women, children that have not known a man by lying with them, keep alive for yourself. And do ye abide, verse 19, and do you abide also without the camp 7, verse 19, my bad. And do you abide without the camp 7 days? Whosoever hath killed any person, and whosoever hath touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captains on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And purify all your raiments, and all that is made of skins, and all work of goat's hair, and all things made of wood. And Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war which went to the battle, This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord God commanded Moses. So these people these 12,000 that went to the war, now they got to come, it says you got to abide without the camp, or you're outside of the camp, you're outside of where everybody else is at, and you got to purify yourself. So, and we kind of read what happened. You would do the purification process on the third day, and on the seventh day you would do it and you would be clean. If you didn't do it on the third day, on the seventh day you wouldn't be clean, right? But point being, they had to go through this process outside of the camp, and this was the ordinance. Verse 22: only the gold and the silver and the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that may abide the fire, ye shall make it go through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall be purified with the waters of separation, and all that abideth not the fire, ye shall make go through the water. Ye shall wash your clothes on the seventh day, and ye shall be clean. And afterwards ye shall come into the camp. So this is talking about the whole purification process of these people that went out to the war, right? That way they can enter back into the camp and be clean. Because we've talked about, especially throughout Leviticus, how important it is to maintain your cleanliness. But verse 25: and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the sum of the prey that was taken, both a man and a beast, thou and Eleazar the priest and the chief fathers of the congregation, and divide the prey into two parts, between them that took the war upon them, who went out to battle, and between all the congregation. And levy a tribute unto the Lord of the men of war which went out to battle, 1 soul of 500, both of the persons, and of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the sheep. Take it of their half, and give it unto Eleazar the priest, for an heave offering of the Lord. And the children of Israel Israel's half, thou shalt take 1 portion of 50 of the persons, of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the flocks, of all manner of beasts, and give them unto the Levites, which keep the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord commanded Moses. So, out of all of the earnings, we could say, from this war, first the Lord had to get his half, and the Levites had to get their portion, right? Verse 32: and the booty, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, was 600,000 and 70,000 and 5,000 sheep, 12,000 beeves, and 1,000 asses, and 32,000 persons in all, of women that had not known men by lying with them. And the half, which was the portion of them that went out to war, was in number 300,007 and 30,500 sheep. And the Lord's tribute of sheep was 615, and the beeves were 36,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 312. And the asses were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 301. And the persons were 16,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 32 persons. And Moses gave the tribute, which was the Lord's heave offering, unto Eleazar the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. And of the children of Israel's half, which Moses divided from the men that war, now the half that pertained unto the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000 and 7,500 sheep, and 36,000 beeves, and 30,000 asses, and 500 and 16,000 persons. Even of the children of Israel's half, Moses took 1 portion of 50, both a man and a beast, and gave them unto the Levites, which kept the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the officers which were of the thousands of the host, the captains of the thousands and the captains of hundreds, came near unto Moses. And they said unto Moses, thy servants have taken the sum of the men of war which are under our charge, and there lacketh not one man of us. We have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, what every man hath gotten of jewels of gold, chains and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of them, even all right, jewels, and all the gold of the offerings that they offered up unto the Lord, of the captains of thousands and of the captains of hundreds, was 16,750 shekels. For the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself. So point being, now these people came back and brought some stuff and offered it to the Lord, right? And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of the thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tabernacle of the congregation for a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord. Yeah.
Good revenge on the Midianites, I suppose.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, when we rewind back to that story, it's like this was already kind of showed to him, like, meaning he tried so hard to curse this people instead of just recognizing, no, the Lord's blessing these people, like, you know what I'm saying? It's better to rock with them than against them, you know what I mean? And then we get to a portion like this where it's like, dang, like, take heed, you feel me?
Oh, Balaam?
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, we don't really know what part he had to play so
That's
much
okay.
with specifically the Midianite women, so much stuff. It's like on pretty much in that regard, because it did happen very much so right after. Like, it literally is, I believe, the chapter right after Balaam concludes his prayer that, like, all this stuff ended up happening with Moabite women. So it makes perfect sense, but it's just like, we don't really see. Like,
No,
they
Balak.
talked to him?
Balak.
Oh, with Balak.
Which Balak's the king, right?
He is the king, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Balak. Whoa, yeah, Balak. I thought Balaam is the priest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dang. Wow. I didn't even. When I read Balaam, I was thinking Balak.
No, that's Balaam.
Yeah,
Balaam
yeah.
also slept with her, and they slew with the sword. They killed him. Behold, these caused behold, like 16. Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in a matter of Peor. So I was like, well, shoot, like, what did Balaam say to them?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, I don't really know. Like, it doesn't show us what
Right.
he did something, right? Whether it was, I don't know, like, good intention or not, or just out of, like, naivety. Whatever he did, it caused the Midianites and the Moabites to go into Israel, and that caused them to be led astray to Baal Peor, because the women served Baal Peor. Because it could have even been a thing like maybe like with Shechem in Genesis, where they're like, oh, let's just intermingle our peoples together, and innocently they're like, yeah, let's like he tried to push like them intermingling the peoples together, even though like no, that's not what God wanted in the first place, because they don't serve God, they serve Baal Peor. Because even with Balak kept taking Balaam up to the temples of Baal. So I don't really know. It doesn't say. I'm not gonna speak on it in assuming. Yeah, bear false witness or any of that. But yeah, it is. Yeah.
They left for a sweet chunk of change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And even anyway, good portions of the land of Midian were parts of like the land, like what would become like the land of Israel, or like part of the promised land anyway. So a 2-for-1 deal, I guess you could call it. Yeah, that's all I have to say about 31. Want to do 32 and then call it here for the 38 chapters?
36, I believe.
36?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our 36. Oh yeah, easily finished that tomorrow. Alright, cool. Numbers 32 and verse 1. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that, behold, the place was a place for cattle, the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spake unto Moses and to Eleazar the priest, and unto the princes of the congregation, saying, Ataroth and Dibon and Jazer and Nimron and Heshbon and Eliel and Shabam and Nebo and Beon, even the country which the Lord smote before the congregation of Israel, is a land for cattle, and thy servants have cattle. Wherefore said they, if we have found grace in thy sight, let this land be given unto thy servants for a possession, and bring us not over Jordan. So like now here they're just like, hey, this is a really nice land that we ended up getting. So can we just keep this land over here? 6. And Moses said to the children of Gad, to the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war, and shall ye sit here? Because like, sure we got this land, but we still need to conquer so much more. So you guys are going to stay here? 7. And wherefore discourage ye the hearts of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the Lord hath to give it them? Because remember, they still haven't, this is all before the Jordan River. So they haven't crossed into that land like the rest of the promised land yet. 8. Thus did your fathers, when they sent them unto Kadesh Barnea to see the land. That's referring to when they chickened out. 9. For when they went up unto the valley of Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, that they should not go into the land which the Lord had given them. And the Lord's anger was kindled at the same time, and sware, saying, surely none of the men that came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me. Save Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed the Lord. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of the Lord was consumed. And so because they all died out. And behold, ye are risen up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of the Lord toward Israel. For if ye turn away from after him, he will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and he shall destroy all this people. So he's saying, if you turn away from God again, you know how many times I've had to stop God from just killing all of you? If you turn away from him again, if you pull this again, he just will kill you all in the wilderness. 16. And they came near unto him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our cattle, and cities for our little ones. But we ourselves will go ready armed before the children of Israel, until we have brought them unto their place. And our little ones shall dwell in fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. So they're like, well, no, like we're not going to just abandon you guys. We're going to go with you to war, but like our stuff and our families, they're going to stay, like we're going to build cities. We're going to build, we just want this land. We're going to build cities, build coasts, leave our families, and leave our like sheeps and stuff here. But we will continue with you guys until we have conquered like all of the people's lands. Until like all the tribes have gone their land. 18. We will not return unto our houses until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance. For we will not inherit with them on yonder side Jordan or forward, because our inheritance is fallen to us on this side Jordan eastward. So it's like, well, like what our portion is here, but we're not gonna rest until everyone gets their portion. But we want our portion to be this land here on the other side of the Jordan River. And Moses said to them, if you will do this thing, if you will go armed before the Lord to war, and will go all of you armed over Jordan before the Lord, until he had driven out his enemies from before him, and the land be subdued before the Lord. Then afterward ye shall return, and be guiltless before the Lord, and before Israel. This land shall be your possession before the Lord. So he's like, look, if you're being honest and you do what you said, even going back to like the vow thing, if you do what you said, then like it's all cool. You'll be blameless. But if you will not do so, behold, ye have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. So he's like, but if you don't, like, Lord's going to get you at the end of it. Your sin will find you out. Build you cities for your little ones and folds for your sheep, and do that which hath proceeded out of your mouth. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spake unto Moses, saying, thy servants will do as my Lord commanded. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead. But thy servants will pass over, every man armed for war, before the Lord to battle, as my Lord saith. So concerning them Moses commanded Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the chief fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moses said to them, the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle before the Lord, and the land shall be subdued before you, and ye shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. But if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, as the Lord hath said to thy servants, so will we do. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on this side Jordan may be ours. And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, and unto the half tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land, with the cities thereof and the coasts, even the cities of the country round about. So he's given them these lands that are on the other side of Jordan. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aror, and Atroth, Shophan, and Jazer, and Jogbehah, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, fenced cities and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Eliel, and Kirjathaim, and Nebo, and Baalmeon, their names being changed, and Shibmah, and gave other names unto the cities which they built. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it, and dispossessed the Amorite which was in it. And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and took the small towns thereof, and called them Havoth Jair. And Nobah went and took Kenneth, and the villages thereof, and called it Nobah, after his own name.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Alright. Chapter 32. Again, I think this is a really good chapter. Simply because we are going to see a bit of the dividing of the land. I think it's good we get to see just an example of the vow thing again, sort of here. Where, like, you know, you have to be honest to your word. Otherwise the word will get you. But I think probably the foolishness side of the thing. 23. But if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, be sure your sin will find you out. You know, it's a very big saying, like, everything will come to light, right? Everything in darkness will come to light. Where, like, everything comes down to wash, right? I'm going to keep saying this, but it's just eventually, all the, like, bad stuff we keep hidden, whether sometimes, like, well, we'll do that kind of thing in our own mind for, like, good reasons or for other people's benefits, right? And when I say bad things, I don't even mean, like, you've done something bad, right? But I mean, like, you hide something bad that happened from someone or a feeling or whatever, right? But everything always just ends up coming out, right? Everything does. Every lie, every mistake, every, like, evil, wicked thing you may have done or someone else has done, like, really everything ends up coming out, right? So it's the same way here, like, your sin will find you out, like, it will find its way of coming back on you, whether, and preferably, really, in this life, than in the next one. But, yeah, that's what I have to say about the verse 32.
I don't really have much to add. I think it's kind of cool that he was like they was like, hey man, just let this be our land. And it's funny because I don't even know, like, let me see. Like, I don't know if, like, that was their intentions before, or if it was because of what Moses said that they was like, nah, like, our families will stay here, but we'll still go to war, you feel me?
Like, if that was already was planned,
yeah,
or Moses sat down and we're like, oh yeah, I guess we can't just chill here now that we have our land, while everyone else goes and fights, because that would be a bit messed up.
That's a question I guess we don't have the answer to, but if
I would like to think it was before.
I would hope so. But if it wasn't, then it's just like, man, y'all was low-key scummy for that. You know?
But that's probably what Moses said. Like, hey, y'all ain't gonna just scoot off now you got your land, right? Because that's even ends up happening with Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
When they get the land, they make pillars, like, for the tribes that are on the other side of Jordan. Just be like, hey, the Jordan may separate us, but always remember, like, we are brethren. Just all for, like, where I'm not saying this is what you're on, but, like, that can happen, though. Like, and that's I think even a cool thing of just like, well, like you gotta acknowledge that, like, hey, that's something that can happen. That's not what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
And like even the things like, well, okay, then you said that's not what's gonna happen, so I'm gonna hold you to your word. And if you like go against it, like, hey, the ending is already planned for you for that, right? Like your sin will find you.
That's how I don't have any much. I don't have any more.
Neither do I. Was there a verse that you wanted to go to?
No, I kind of went to mine. They just followed up the vows.
Yeah, I had one in the middle that I wanted to go to, but I forgot it.
You keep that's probably like your second time doing it.
I know, because I'll be like, oh, well, okay, I want to go to this at the end, and then we talk about something completely different, and then I forget what the thing at the end I want to go to.
Yeah. You don't have to. I mean,
That's not me.
I don't want to. I mean, if we just going somewhere, not just going somewhere, it's all good. What is it talking about?
Okay.
Love.
I know I found a thing I wanted to read, but you go ahead.
Nah, read that one.
Yeah. So this is 2 Corinthians 4:14 through 18. And this didn't relate necessarily too much to like the numbers reading from today, but I thought it was good to read and always important to. So 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 14. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Jesus shall raise up us also by Jesus, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of God. Right? All things happen for our good if we are serving Christ and we are following Him. Because at the end of all things, everything that we do here in this life should be working towards our salvation. As 14 talks about, to be raised as Christ was. 16. For which cause we faint not, which is why we work in the faith that we do, right? But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So whatever things we have to deal with and we go through in this life now is little in comparison to what we will receive and what we will achieve if we stand fast in the faith. Stand fast in the faith. While we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Because we are all looking towards and waiting for an eternal life. And that was just the Luke's Bible.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll say mine for a little bit. Well, I'm not saying nothing. Micah 6 and 8. That's what I want to read. Just like on his tip. It's not really. It's different than what we read today, but I just think it's good. Micah 6 and 8. He has showed. But I don't want to start hiding that. Okay, yeah. But just a little context. You know, we read about the offerings and things of that nature. It was good for the time, but we know the blood of bulls and goats was never able to take away sin. We've kind of went over that before in what, Hebrews 10, I think it is, where it talks about the blood of bulls and goats. Long story short, animal sacrifice was never the answer to our sins. It really was Jesus. But point being, what he's saying in 1 Samuel is better. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So I just want that to be on our mind as we read this. Well, I'm gonna start at verse 7. Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, or with 10,000s of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the first of my body for the sin of my soul? He hath showed thee, O man, what is good. So he's like, is the Lord pleased with me sacrificing thousands of rams and things of that nature? He's like, well, it's a rhetorical question, but the answer is no. Like, and that's kind of what we was talking about before we read this. It's like, no, He has showed thee what is good and what He wants us to do, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. That's important. Like, we have to do justly, do what's right in the eyes of God at all times. Walk in your integrity, and be unmovable, as we've talked about before. Love mercy. Like, to whom given mercy is whom will be shown mercy. Like, we have to love mercy. We have to love being merciful and showing mercy to others. Like, we have to love that. Like, when you get and somebody make you mad, and it's like you don't want to forgive. No, that can't be us. We have to want to forgive. We have to love to forgive. And then it says to walk humbly with our God. Walk humbly in everything that we do. In all things, remember that we are not, our righteousness is as filthy rags to the Lord. Like, we can point our fingers at the next man every day and be like, haha, I'm better than him. But in the end, you're still nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was that whole parable that Jesus was talking about the man that went in and bowed himself down and was like, God, I'm a sinner. And then there was another man that came in and was like, God, thank you so much because I'm not like everybody else. Point being, the one that recognized that he was a sinner was the better person, like, because he was humble. We've all sinned and fell short of the glory of God. We all need mercy. We all need to be forgiven. We need to love to forgive others, and we need to love to walk with God humbly, right? And we need to love to do justly. That's what the Lord, but that's what's good according to God, and that's what's required of us. Not that we sacrifice and, you know what I'm saying, do the bare minimum, things of that nature, but that we do what's right according to God. But that's all I got to say. Well, with that being said,
yeah, cool. Yeah. As always, thank you for joining us. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll finish out Numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys all for being here with us. Just getting a good reading in. Trying to get some understanding, wisdom, knowledge, because this is where we're gonna get it from. But,
yeah. Lord willing, peace.
In Jesus' name.